It's on.
Hello, everybody. What is up? It is Blind Metal Gamer along with the wonderful and vivacious Kaira. Super Saiyan, what is up, Kaira?
Hey, Blind, good to be back. We are discussing a fan favorite that we have been doing since day one.
Yep, it is time for the Easter season once again, and it is time to discuss, this time, adulting in the Easter season.
And I am prepared. I have got my Easter face paint from this morning and my Easter shirt on.
Nice. Yes, we did have a good time this morning.
What should I tell them or should you tell them what we did this morning?
I'll do the honors, Kaira. Uh,
Okay.
Kyra and I went to an event in our town for individuals with disabilities. It was a capable egg hunt. So what they did was, for me not being able to see, they had beeping eggs as audio cues, and then they had the plastic eggs with goodies inside for me to pick up. So they had the audio cue piece there, and something for me to pick up, and they had sighted assistants to
Yeah.
guide me to the eggs.
Those beeping eggs were loud. They sounded like newborn chicks.
Yes, they did. But they not only had that there, they had, as you alluded to, face painting and stuff for the younger fans as well.
In donut holes, we got to engage in donut holes.
Yes, that was Blind's sweet for the day.
My, mine too. Mine too. Donuts always remind me of my late grandfather, who we affectionately call Papa. And so, having donuts at an Easter event, Easter was my Papa's favorite holiday. It was just a dream come true.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Easter, I remember, was one of our family's favorite holidays. And since we're discussing the topic of being an adult in the Easter season, would you like to start off by maybe sharing some of your favorite adult Easter memories or traditions that
Well, there's actually a pretty good one. It's related to my shirt. My last semester in college, which was a few years back, the college campus threw an Easter egg hunt. And if you got 10 eggs, you got a shirt. And I made sure to have exactly 10 eggs so that I could get the shirt. And you could choose between a pink, purple, and blue shirt. I got the purple one. It's got a bunny on it with an Easter egg, and it says Easter Extravaganza. Oh, it was so much fun. That was my first Easter egg hunt since childhood, and I loved it.
nice. I would say one of my favorite adult Easter memories was my again it was the spring of 2002. I had just
Mm-hmm.
graduated, um and for me, I just enjoyed being with the family, hanging out, watching some professional wrestling
Yeah.
on back then DVD, because that was the big thing back then.
And
You
then, of
know,
course, another adult Easter tradition I did last year, I got to make a bunny out of clay at our local ceramics studio. And that bunny is actually on my shelf with my other works. And oh my gosh, that bunny class is popular. It sells out every time. Unfortunately, we did not get to do it this year because that instructor is no longer with the studio. But making my own Easter bunny, that's really cool.
nice. Maybe they'll bring back that maybe when another instructor comes.
I don't know. This instructor was really popular with the kids, and I just think the days of making cute animals out of clay are over now that she's opened her own studio.
You think? Oh wow. Okay. Another adult Easter tradition. Um, I would say, and this was a bit later on after I became an uncle and my family increased. Getting Easter for the little ones.
Yeah.
making sure they had a good Easter.
Yeah.
And I
And
even
then
carried that on this year. Although they're older, but still, I wanted to make sure they had a good Easter experience.
and I started doing that with with the littles in my family too, making them small Easter baskets that they would enjoy, stuff like chalk, bubbles, a little bit of candy. But speaking of Easter candy, as an adult, I discovered I can eat the best Easter bunny in existence. The Lint Gold Bunny. So every year for the past several years, I would go to the grocery and stock up on Lint Gold Bunnies. So there are four chocolate bunnies sitting in my refrigerator so that they're ready for Easter.
Nice. As an adult, I would get the traditional Easter bunny or chocolate bunny, but here lately, I've discovered, I don't really eat a lot of the Easter candy. I don't really because I'm conscious about what I put in my body. I'm conscious about what I put into myself because of good health. So Easter bunnies and candies have kind of went by the wayside for me.
Well, I mean, for the most part, me too. The only candy I eat these days as an adult is chocolate. That's because I've had a lot of work done on my teeth in the past 2 years alone. I don't I don't like the high sugary candy anymore because I'd rather keep my teeth than indulge in so much sugary candy. So I usually eat the sugary stuff like the jelly beans at Easter, and for the most part, I've really quit on sugary candy and I'll only indulge in chocolate. And I mean on a rare occasion now.
Oh yeah, I mean right now I have to kind of, for reasons, avoid the sugar at all costs. But I find this year I'm going to have a pretty unique way to enjoy Easter. Would you like to know about that, Kyra?
Oh, yes, definitely.
It happens this week. This Easter weekend is also WrestleMania weekend. So for all
Oh,
you for all
fun.
you wrestling fans, not WWE, not sports entertainment, but wrestling fans out there, WrestleMania 41 will be this Easter weekend. So if you kinda can't indulge in the sweets like me, or if you're not just an Easter person, it's WrestleMania season, baby. I can tell you how Blind's gonna do Easter. Slim Jims, by God, plenty of spicy, spicy snacks and wrestling. The best
Well,
wrestling in the
I
world.
think my Easter this year is going to be pretty tame. I'll wear my Easter shirt. I'll go to Easter service. And I'll probably make myself a pot of bunny macaroni and cheese, aka Annie's, the best macaroni and cheese in existence. But you know, it's just not the year for Easter in my family this year. It's just for reasons I won't get into, people just aren't going to be around, and so it's not going to be the year to engage in Easter. So I'll probably be laid back. I'll have my chocolate bunnies, I'll have my bunny pasta, and I'll at least have Easter that morning, but really, I just see this as a laid back Easter, and yeah, I've got the fur kids to keep me company this Easter.
I've got my fur baby, and I want to give a quick shout out to Reese Queen, our third person in the booth. I'll be talking to her on Easter, seeing how her Easter is going.
And I'm sure I'll be in touch with people on Easter Sunday. It just won't be the big extravaganza it normally is in my family.
Right, same with me. It's gonna be a small, simple affair. Just get it done. And then as far as Easter dinner, would you like to know what Blind and his family are doing?
Sure.
We're having an Easter ham.
We usually do an Easter ham in my family too. But For reasons I won't disclose, we are not having a big Easter dinner in my family this year. Now, will the Easter Bunny come see me? Yes. When? I don't know. But you know what? The Easter Bunny spoiled the doggo today. Gave the doggo a plush Easter Bunny and a new bandana. And she crawled on my lap as if to say, well, what are you waiting for, Mom? Put it on my neck.
And unfortunately, Mr. Oreo does not get to. The Easter Bunny don't come to see him because the Easter Bunny is not familiar with his breed. I think they might clash, if you know what I mean.
Well, the Easter Bunny could always bring Mr. Oreo some catnip or some cat treats.
Maybe.
The Easter Bunny actually needs to look into what they can get the rambunctious feline that y'all unfortunately heard me cuss at during our last episode.
Oh yes, that rambunctious kitty cat.
She has been in a box because something special came for the rambunctious feline that is currently sitting in the closet because it's not for year round use.
Oh boy. So Kyra, do you have any favorite um early adult Easter memories that you would like to share?
Well, these are actually from childhood, but you know, the thing that comes to mind is every year when I was a kid, my grandparents and my mother would put on an Easter egg hunt in the backyard. I grew up next door to my grandparents, and so my grandparents would hide Easter eggs for my cousin, my sister, and my brother all over the two backyards. And because of my peanut allergy, my mother got creative. For me, my eggs had my initial on them. My siblings and my cousin had a dot so that I would know the candy wasn't safe for me. And
Nice.
sometimes we would find little eggs filled with coins, usually quarters. And you would pick them up and you'd shake them and you'd hear those quarters
And you figure
rattling
out, yeah, I'm
around.
gonna get mine.
One year, we found an egg that didn't have candy or change in it, and we couldn't figure it out. We opened it up. There was a $20 bill in it.
Oh
And I
God.
was and I was the one that found it. So I wanted to keep it. But
hmm
my sister, being the brat she was, okay, she's not a brat. I'm sorry to any of my family members who heard me dog on my sister like that. Um, claimed eldest child privilege and wanted the egg for herself just so she could have the $20 bill and claim she's the oldest, she gets the $20.
Oh
And, th-
no, that wouldn't have
and
worked
then
in Blind's house.
it wouldn't have, and then my cousin and my brother chimed in, being like, "Wait a minute, why do you get it? I want it." And finally, either my mother or my grandfather had to chime in and be like, "Okay, so who found the egg?" And I'm like, "I did." And my mother's like, well, she found the egg. It's her $20 bill. You kids need to back off. And
hmm
if I remember, I spent that $20 on something for my Barbies.
Nice.
And I
Now,
and go ahead.
now I remember this kind of recollects back to back in my youth as well. Again, as we all know, I went to the School for the Blind, and right up the road from where Kaira and I live, and we had, I think one of the Easter's, it was on it was either the Sunday before. I think it was the Sunday before because Easter, I think, was spring break that year. It was like the start of
Yeah.
the end of spring break, and we had an egg hunt on campus, and there was a gold egg. It was a big chocolate egg, and whoever
Oh,
found that sucker was just like, "Oh man!" I forget who found it, but I know it wasn't me, and I was so hot. I was like, really? But it was a lot of fun. I mean, and then another memory I have uh, in Kaira and I's town, they would have an egg hunt specifically for blind and low vision folks. And they would have a beep, kind of like what Kyra and I described earlier, the beeping egg. It was more of a beeping sound, not a chirping. And we had to locate the egg and find it, and we would each get a big basket full of goodies and candy. And I would take mine home, and I would want to eat mine all in one go. But no, 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 my grandparents and family would monitor it around meal times or whatever.
Yeah,
That way, which is good because that way it wasn't going to ruin my teeth or anything like that. So,
yeah.
but
And yeah. And
getting
believe it or not, one of my earliest memories comes from Easter. We lived down the road from a Methodist church when I was little, back before we moved to the area we're in now. And I can remember wearing this adorable vest and skirt my mother made for me. My mother made outfits for Christmas and Easter every year until I was in elementary school. And we went to an egg hunt at our church. And I don't see how I can remember, but I remember I couldn't have been more than 2 years old, just trotting down the halls of our surprisingly big church and finding so many Easter eggs. And that's all I can remember. But I remember the outfit and I remember the egg hunt. And it was adorable.
oh wow. Um, for me, I remember. I remember again back. Uh, you know, another thing I would do when I got older would be I would not really want to hunt the eggs as much as help to prepare for the younger ones, as we alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So what would I do? I would dye them bad boys. I would dye them. I remember with my mother getting the egg dye kits. She
I
would
remember that too.
she would boil the eggs, and I would take them and put them in the dye and dye them.
We
And it
used to do
was the coolest thing.
we used to do food coloring dye eggs, but we did Kool-Aid dyed eggs once. And I tried to drink the Kool-Aid from that year, and I realized this is terrible. And all the leftover Kool-Aid went out. But I've done food coloring dyeing eggs, egg dye kits, and the Kool-Aid egg dye. And this year, because of the egg flu, they're encouraging people to dye potatoes for Easter. Like, not just any potatoes, Yukon Golds, the little tiny egg-sized golden potatoes you can get in a bag at the grocery store.
Now, I bet that would be an interesting experience.
I wanted to do it, but I'm like, what am I gonna do with all these potatoes after I dye them? Nobody's gonna be around to eat them.
I know, right?
But I may have to do it next year and see if I like it. But I remember one year we made deviled eggs out of the dyed Easter eggs, and those were the prettiest deviled eggs I'd ever seen. They were all different colors. And when your girl Kyra dyes Easter eggs, she doesn't just plop them in and take them out. She lets them sit forever to get the perfect color.
Oh yeah, we would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we did the same thing. It was great. I mean, so as far as the adult aspect, um, I think it's great that we got to look back on those memories. Wouldn't you say so, Kyra?
I think so. And as for the adult aspect, it's good to know that there are Easter events, not just for disabled events, but for you know
Everybody.
for everybody that you can Um, participate in. Like Blind and I were just talking about today.
Hmm.
He and I want to help out with next year's Easter egg hunt. I want to help provide food allergy friendly candies, and Blind wants to prepare the eggs in general.
Right. So next year, Kyra and I are going to kind of see it from the other side of the coin.
But
This year,
I'm still gonna participate next year.
right now, me, the jury's out on me, but I want to, help out and help contribute and
Yeah.
all of that. But that's a good experience, though, I think, because as the topic is adulting in Easter, it's good to kind of show the next generation coming up what it's all about.
Yeah. Ooh, I gotta bring up. Okay, let's talk about our least favorite and most favorite Easter candies.
Yes. You want me to kick this one off, or do you want to go?
I have to say it. My least favorite Easter candy has got to be black licorice jelly beans. My grandfather kept a whole gumball machine of black licorice jelly beans. Would sometimes prank us kids by putting them in our Easter eggs so that he could get the candy because he knew the grandkids would need it. And
Okay,
I
that's.
can
Oh,
it,
God.
it was only it oh don't worry. It was only like one egg per kid. It wasn't that bad. I
Uh,
can distinctly remember taking black licorice jelly beans out of that gumball machine, eating them, and spitting them out in the palm of my hand because I had never tasted anything so nasty that was candy in my life.
okay, I would say for me, my least, although, like I said, I'm not a big candy eater these days. I would say my least favorite Easter candy when I was younger would had to have been um those. Oh shoot.
Palmer chocolate bunnies, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, those were nasty, and yeah, those are the ones I didn't really like.
They're
Um,
waxy and
yeah,
taste like
bleh,
sugar. And
yeah,
I saw them as SpongeBob and Patrick at the store this year. And I was so sad for a hot minute. And then I remembered it was Palmer, Mary Easter candy. And I'm like, what am I crazy? I don't want to eat that garbage.
yeah. No, I would say another least favorite of mine would be the Cadbury eggs, but
Which ones? The candy coated ones or the cream ones?
uh the cream ones. Not because they taste bad, but they're just so
They,
rich.
yeah, yeah. It's like biting into chocolate with canned frosting in the middle, and it's just an overwhelming sensation of sugar.
Oh, I know.
At least the ones filled with caramel are better because you're not overloaded with sugar.
Right, right. But as we adult, I don't really do sugar these days. I like to
But
just.
I guess my favorite Easter candy, as much as I love my Lint Gold bunnies, has got to be the Cadbury candy coated eggs.
No, I love those too.
Those those are so good. They're crunchy with good chocolate, not ratty, not that terrible waxy Hershey's. I mean good chocolate.
Yeah, I like the candy coated Cadberries, and I
They're
also like the
good.
Reese's eggs too.
I can't eat the Reese's eggs. But I know people love them. Another thing I like, the assorted bag of Jelly Belly jelly beans. Now, I don't eat much candy like that anymore because of my teeth, but a little bit of Jelly Belly, that I will eat. Jelly Belly is so good.
Nice. Now this year, your boy Blind is taking a little break from the sugar, sugar, sugar. Maybe
Yeah,
next year it'll return, but we'll see. But the point is, it never hurts to take a break. True?
it doesn't. Like Blind, for a similar reason to Blind, I'm having to really watch my sugar too. I had a close call with something last summer, and I began to reevaluate. And with my teeth, all the work on my teeth, I'm like, do you really need to be consuming this much sugar? No.
Right, and I had a good um experience that came back here recently, and I don't want to ruin that. You know what I mean? So
Same here.
I
Mine was
want
a few months prior than yours, but you and I have both had good, clean bills of health. Why ruin it?
right, and I don't want to ruin it or chance ruining it later on. I want to keep it
Right.
going. So
Yeah.
we and as adults, we can enjoy Easter in different ways, can't we?
Yes, absolutely. You know what?
More than
You
just
know what?
candy and all that.
You know what I'm gonna do with half that candy? It's going to the littles in my life because I guarantee you there's gonna be candy in there I can't eat. So I'll give it
But
to the little kids.
right, and what I did with mine, the whole boatload, I just said, you know what, I'll let the family have it because
Yeah,
you know
nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing
Um,
wrong with it. They can enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy mine in a different way.
yeah. And you know what? I may make it more fun for the littles. I may go to the dollar store and pick up some bubbles and some chalk and make it a game for them.
Exactly. You know, but the point being, we're enjoying our Easters in different ways now that we're older, more mature,
Exactly.
and more wise about ourselves. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And besides, I'm really proud of myself. My sugar addicted butt could have eaten all four of those gold bunnies by now, but no, they're in my refrigerator. They're chilling until Easter Sunday, and they'll probably be gone within a week instead of a day.
Well, Mr. Chocolate Bunny gets spared in the Blind Meadow Gamer house because, unfortunately, due to, like I said, me not consuming sugary things, he gets to kind of live with his buddies. But next year, Mr. Chocolate Bunny, you watch. You might have a fate that is coming for you. But that is a tale
And
for next year.
and I may even go to the ceramics studio and go paint something fun for Easter. Just because, I can't enjoy Easter the way I'm used to doesn't mean I can't have fun.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, so, with that being said, Kyra, do you think we've covered everything today?
Yes, yes, I do. And I do want to say, if you guys are in my situation and don't have anything to do for Easter, look around your community, ask your friends, or do something silly like I'm doing and make yourself a pot of bunny macaroni and cheese.
Right. I mean, if there's nothing really to do as far as events, or if you're like me and you want to watch that sugar intake and don't want to do the candy thing, or if you flat out cannot because of certain reasons, there's other ways to enjoy Easter. I mean, like this year, as I alluded to earlier, this is WrestleMania weekend, baby. We get to enjoy some good wrestling. I think it's going to be like 9 hours on both nights.
Oh my goodness. Um, as for
You
me,
know,
I'm probably gonna go on YouTube and look for an Easter cartoon special.
so there's ways to enjoy the Easter holiday without getting all that the candy and
You know,
all of that.
I I think if you have a fur kid or a little in your life, take the chance to spoil them for Easter. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Just get them something they'll enjoy.
Or do what I did, give them extra love
That too.
because they
Like,
always want love and affection.
I need to look into something for the rambunctious feline as we speak.
And Mr. Oreo will get extra love on Easter Sunday. You know?
Believe me, that kitty, if I can't find anything for that crazy cat, I can at least give her cat treats because guess what? Crazy cat just got some free cat treats in the mail.
Oh man, I bet you will love that. Well,
Well, I gotta watch the cat treats with her. She's on a diet.
she's got to watch herself. All right, so Kyra, do you got anything you want to say before we close up for the day?
Like I said, don't be afraid to treat yourself. You don't have to be alone on Easter. You have options if you want to celebrate.
Yes, you have options, and there are other ways to enjoy aside from the traditional candies and all of that. Just spend time with the family. Enjoy your favorite things. Enjoy.
And if your family's not around, find your friends. Find a community. Heck, you could even look into a church. They'd be willing to welcome you.
Oh yeah, I mean, most definitely. So, with that being said, I would like to wish you all a happy and safe Easter. And for those who are watching WrestleMania 41 this year, like I will be, happy WrestleMania weekend. With that being said, for Kyra Super Saiyan, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying so long, everyone, and peace out.
Alright, Super Saiyan here. Stay golden, y'all, and happy Easter.